morning, everyone. You're watching Politically Correct, and I am Maya Hayakawa. Now, every other day on the news, we hear of a high school dormitory that has been set on fire by students. And this is just one case of school unrest in Kenya. The latest incident caps months of student unrest in Embu, Nakuru, Kilifi, Machakos, Migori, Busia, and other counties where dormitories and classrooms were set on fire. Why do our secondary schools experience such unrest? What can we do to reduce the incidences of student unrest? Today, we address some of these key issues with our guest, Tony Sifuna, who is a teacher, a mentor, guiding counselor, motivational speaker, and a disciplinarian. But right before we go to Sifuna, now I had our question for the day, which was, what's causing unrest and violence in our schools? And let's just take a quick look at what you guys are saying right here. So a few comments here. We have Steve Tom, who says, kids see what's happening on TV. And as you know, TV creates unnecessary tension that puts everyone always on defensive mode. If you see someone being violent, it means that they have once thought about it and waited for that particular moment to put some thought into reality. Thank you for that. That's Steve Tom. Also here we have Paul from Twitter. He says here, bad parenting and good values not instilled on the children from a young age. That's his opinion in terms of what is causing unrest in our secondary schools. Real quick over here, I just want to give you guys two more views. We have here Anding Evans, who says that it's caused by the manner in which teachers and principals, head teachers, and also administrative rules and regulations are abandoned in the schools. Now, Peter Kamau here says, lack of disciplinary actions, better the old days. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Peter. Finally, an important point brought out by Paul. Once again, he says that hard drugs find their way to schools too easily, and mostly from the surrounding community. Sadly, that comes from certain teachers, security guards, etc., where students use regularly cocaine, and that contributes to poor academic performance and becomes a recipe for violence in schools. So those are your thoughts and your opinions in terms of what is causing unrest in schools. Right now, I want to shift it over to Sifuna, who will be giving us more of a professional viewpoint as to what is really causing unrest in our secondary schools. Welcome to the show, Sifuna. Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Maya. I'm so glad to be in the TVC studios.
Oh, thank you so much for coming. Well, first of all, seeing as the increase of student unrest that has been going on in the recent months with the dormitories being burnt down, yes. And also we're seeing that this trend is actually going on, years on by. Yeah. And so your initial reactions, your thoughts, your feelings towards it?
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, Maya. I should tell you that we as teachers or the people given the mandate to deal with these students, we are also disturbed a lot. And unless we get the way forward to this, out of 47 counties that we have in Kenya, 11 in the entire, just within a short period of time, ending to the second term, have experienced student unrest, where dormitories have been razed down, where so many bizarre things have happened in schools. So it's high time that all the stakeholders, teachers, the education ministry, and everybody who is given that mandate to discharge smooth running of educational issues is concerned in the country. This has reached astronomical levels, and we as teachers are very concerned, because I tend to believe, I as a teacher, that a school must be very safe. It must operate very conducively. The students must feel, even at home, students spend 3/4 of the yearly time with the teachers at school, and only a quarter period in a year with their parents at home, as they are doing now when the schools have closed. But it disturbs us that, especially when the era of examination comes, Maya, you should know that many are the issues, or many of these issues arise when mocks or the exams are just about the corner. So we are wondering, is it the phobia for the exams, or as maybe we shall be proceeding, we will be looking at some of the issues that the students raise. But on this other side of the teachers, the administrators, we are sounding an alarm that the figures are too high and something needs to be done.
And the million-dollar question, which everyone is asking right now, is what causes this unrest? Everybody has different opinions in terms of what is the actual problem. What's your opinion on this matter?
You know what? I deal with the students on hand-to-hand. We actually interact with the students a lot. I tried to interrogate some of them. Why do you think? Because I was trying to juxtapose the time we were in school, and not so long ago, vis-a-vis the time this generation that we are dealing with is in school. And they will tell you so many issues that some of them, they for instance, say they need more democratic space. They need, you know, when we were in school, Maya, the cane could operate. You actually go wayward, you are out of the school rules and regulation, you could be hit a little, not to cause physical damage or pain, but just to tell you that here you are on the contrary. But you try that with the current generation of students we are dealing with, it actually brings trouble. And you see some of them grouping and saying the school principal is so is very tough on us, the teachers are very tough on us. We are dealing with a generation that learns very fast. Their thinking is very fast. And I should say as a teacher that the social media has also affected a lot. These guys read a lot. In fact, okay, I teach English and literature myself, but you give a student a textbook to read through the pages, he or she will not read through. But when they have closed like this, they are all on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, very active. In fact, I do say if we were to set examination based on social media, all these guys will get an A. But the fact that they are not reading, therefore they fear exams. There's nothing that comes on a silver platter, Maya. You have to work. You remember when you were in school, you worked extremely hard. That's why you are seated here as a very renowned journalist.
Why not use the, thank you for that compliment, that was very nice of you, but then why not use then online platforms in terms of e-learning? Nowadays we have access to e-learning and all of that. Why not channel that interest? If students are so interested in technology and are so interested in social media, why not use that as a learning tool rather than it hinder their learning process?
We are not negating the idea of e-learning. In fact, it's entrenched into the educational policy, ICT, Information, Communication and Technology. You must embrace it. But, you know, you cannot replace a physical teacher in a classroom setting. A teacher must be there to see the progress, to monitor the progress. We are dealing with a very, very hard to understand generation that is highly truant, that is anti-order. You give them the school. You know, every student, when he or she joins in Form 1, he's given the school rules and regulations to read. And he signs at the end of it, I will abide by these rules and regulations. So where the rain starts beating them, such that now they become so problematic to the school, they even contemplate, why should you ban a facility that was built even long before you joined the school? When you ban a dormitory, in some cases we have had even casualties and victims, where some students have died in the inferno. So I think we need a clear paradigm shift to tell the students that there is a better way to do what? To vent your anger. It's called conflict management, resolution and management. They must know that when they do not agree with a certain idea or item within the school setting, there is a channel. We have come up with so many measures and strategies just to make sure that students exist so well in school. Like for instance, now they elect their leaders through student councils. They elect the school president through a democratic process, the person they want. Why can't they use some schools? In fact, nearly all the schools have suggestion boxes. The office of the principal is quite open. So personally, I feel very sad that most students go the jungle way. burning down the facilities that will be. I remember one of the teacher in the apartheid South Africa who said that if you should burn down the dormitory, then you are uncivilized. You rather burn up your brains. Yeah, because it's quite unfortunate.
It is very, very unfortunate. But are our students frustrated? Are they frustrated? Would you say that they're frustrated? And if they are, then what is really frustrating them?
I do not want to buy that idea to say that the student, maybe a very small fraction, and you realize that those who are frustrated are maybe just lazy fellas who don't want to work hard. You know, a school is not a leisure room where you say you have just gone to laze around. You must work hard, because there's no school that will not tell you that we are striving to get an A. Or to improve the school mean score. In as much as many have castigated and say we teachers are focused on exam-oriented results. That's why some politicians have come up with a proposal to scrap away examinations. But to me, I ask one crucial question. If you do away with the regular examinations like mocks and even end term, and even they were going ahead to propose that we scrap away Standard 8 and Form 4 exam, that is KCPE and KCSE. To me, it's nonsensical, because evaluation is very important. How do you, as a teacher, know that the input, in fact, even in business, you actually look at the profit indices and say, my business is doing well. In football, you look at the number of goals scored. Everywhere you go to any world trend, there is always measurement and evaluation.
Well, then can I ask you a question then? Because you've brought out a key point that a lot of people would be likely to dispute. In that we've seen that a lot of the students that come out of our education system test very well. They get the A+, they get, you know, their B+, and so on and so forth. But when it comes to actually being able to do the job in the practical corporate setting, we're seeing more and more that they're actually unable to do the job. Then if testing and examinations really is key in evaluation, then why is it that people are failing in the workforce?
Yeah, I wish to agree with you to some extent, and to some schools that drill. You know, there is a big difference within the kind of schools that we go through. You'll get that some private schools or sector will actually drill a student and make sure that this student learns. It's called rote learning when we were at the university, where you just actually, it's like learning by imitation.
It's like copy-paste.
Yeah, a copy-pasting. So in such a case, we actually produce students who are not up to task when it comes to an ever-changing market setting. But I want to actually acclaim most public schools, that a student who has gone through public school will actually learn from one stage to the other. And that goes all the way up to the university, where they are actually taught on hands-on. But that will go back to the kind of students that we have. The kind of students that we have are actually, they want results at the click of the button. They want shortcuts. They don't want to go all through the system. I remember when we were in school, we could actually even go to the practicals. Some of the practical subjects were scrapped away. There's no longer art and design. There's no music is now optional. Home science was scrapped off the syllabus. So I think that question should also be directed to our education stakeholders at the ministry level, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum and Development, to look at the kind of, you know, I'm so glad you have raised that question. One teacher who feels so sad that everybody in this country must get a degree. Yes, we make sure that the boys, I teach in a boys' school, and the boys do well. But everybody, imagine of a scenario where everybody is a degree holder. Where shall we get a plumber? Where shall we get a carpenter? Where shall we get a good mason? And you look at actually the admission to village polytechnics it's almost empty. When we convert national polytechnics to universities, it's a big problem because then we lack the artisan, we lack the best skills, the hands-on skills, and we just go for theoretical skills, and that's where the problem comes in. If you ask me, the way forward to that is actually we become holistic in our education system.
And add some of those practical aspects back.
Of life. Yes.
Very good point over there. We have to take a quick break, but when we come back, more with Sifuna.